Do I look at the camera? Look at you?
You do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want, but you must speak to the mic, bitch.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Movies with Interesting People. I think we're up to episode 4, I want to say. And this week's episode, I'm talking to my good friend, Harry Plant.
Howdy, folks.
Harry hails from the country.
Country Victoria.
In Australia, 33% of people live in the regions. Actually, that's a huge percentage as compared to other countries. Okay. And Harry's one of them.
Absolutely.
How would you say that being from the country... Would you say being from the country defines you?
Well, it certainly meant my accent is distinctly Aussie.
Harry, say something Australian.
Oh, g'day, mate. How's it going, mate? I don't know.
Good stuff.
Yeah, nah, mate. Don't worry about it. She'll be right.
The reason why this podcast exists is because of Harry.
Wow.
Because do you remember when we saw Oppenheimer?
Oh, yeah. That was great. With Matt Damon pretending to be an army guy.
I'm a general.
No. I'm the general here. No. Literally, I'm like nudging Frida. That's Matt Damon. That's not a general.
So I had to see that movie for my other podcast. And I walked out of that and I said, I don't want to do anything but shit on this movie. And we started ranting about that movie outside IMAX. And I was like, this is funnier. I hated it.
It was so bad.
Will anybody ever know what happened here? And we're sitting there going, we know now, Killian, don't worry. So eventually I just stopped my podcast and started Movies with Interesting People, where I just get to rant and say whatever the fuck I want about how shit a movie is with an interesting person.
Excellent. Let's go. Oh, you cut.
So today...
I'll get up, you go down.
Okay. Merry Christmas from us. And today the movie we're going to see is Anora.
Tell me about it. I know nothing except it's a sex worker and a Cinderella. Yeah, I saw the poster as well. You know, these days you just look at the movie poster and you're like, okay, there's Meryl Streep, so you know what sort of movie it is. Or it's,
you're like, I got it.
He's going to save the president.
Yeah.
President's daughter.
Yeah.
So I saw the poster. And they said sex worker, Cinderella story. Great.
Yeah.
Is it French? Is it French?
Is it French? This would be the one that I would actually want to see, even if I didn't have to see it. Do you know what I mean? Not like I have to see it.
You're interested in seeing it?
It's a big awards contender, and I'm seeing all of them just so I could do a big video reviewing them all. But Anora is the movie that I want to see.
Sweet, then let's do that today.
Let's do it today. I don't think she's a sex worker. I think she's a stripper. Is that it?
Well, sometimes they refer to themselves as sex workers.
Sex workers. So she's a sex worker, and she gets swept off her feet. Did you ever see that TV show Bunheads with Sutton Foster as a ballerina showgirl thingy, and then the guy marries her and takes her to his home, and then she runs the ballet school after he dies?
No, but I have seen Emily in Paris. Is it like that?
Well, it's not like that. It's about like a showgirl and some guy that is just like in love with the showgirl and keeps coming to the shows and imagines that he's in love with her.
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
It doesn't sound creepy. It doesn't sound creepy at all, and it makes me angry.
Yeah.
Because relationships take work.
Yeah. And there are two different people in the relationship, not just some dude with a lot of money and someone who looks good when they dance.
But Anora is about that. Forgot to mention, the river behind us is our only river, as they told us in Pethrivka. When I was at school, they told us this was the only river in Melbourne.
The only river in Melbourne?
Yes.
Well, it's the only river here.
It's the only river behind us, but we have another river.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Maribyrnong.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, look, when I was young, the way they talked about trams here in Melbourne,
Yeah.
trams were here in Melbourne and in San Francisco and like nowhere else in the world.
Yes.
So I show up to like Istanbul and a tram built in 2007 drives past an old Ottoman palace and I'm just like, what the fuck?
I thought that was our thing. This is the Yarra River, and it's also famous for being muddy on the top. Apparently it's not muddy down the bottom, but no one actually has confirmed. No one's confirmed it. Does anyone want to swim down and check? It's very special because the mud is only on the top. Convenient. All right, we came back from Anora. I really liked it. As soon as it ended, it was the hush. We all sat there like frozen as if we weren't allowed to go.
Yeah, like we needed permission to go and the silence, the whole room was full of silence once the windscreen wipers stopped.
I almost wanted to actually say we can go now.
I almost said it too, but I didn't want to be like that guy.
Did you like it?
Look, I didn't know what genre it was, so I spent the first third of it being like, is this going to get dark? Is this going to turn? But then I realised that the three brothers, like the Godfather and the other two guys, were just idiots of the highest order.
The muscleheads.
Yes, yeah, the muscle.
So Anora is a dancer, an erotic dancer, and she very hastily marries the son of a Russian oligarch. And everything goes to shit. Like, everybody finds out, everybody turns up, it becomes an utter emergency that they have to quickly annul the marriage. She has no idea what she's in for. None. And she thinks she can just bring the, like, punchy energy. And they fully say, oh, like, in my mind, I was like, oh, they'll kill her. Like,
yeah,
with, like
they're
this.
going to kill her.
Not only, but they said, oh, no, you're not married. You're not in love. And if you are pregnant, we're taking care of that too. And I believed him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought they were going to take care of her. Like,
Take care of her. We're going to vacuum you out, bitch. You'll have no organs
well, who are you?
left.
Yeah.
And she's taking way too long to get to realise.
Yeah.
Way too long.
At no point. At no point did she think her life was in danger. She was just swearing and headbutting and kicking and screaming.
Scratching.
Doesn't care.
And at some point the son goes, don't you get it? You're so stupid. Are you so stupid? And it's kind of great. I kind of loved it.
I guess they were expecting her to be more compliant because everyone else in Russia knows who everyone is, so they're more compliant.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, fuck you. And then she just screams at him and headbutts him.
I think also there was one point where they were heading out into the city to try to track him down. And there was at one point where I was like, this looks good on her. Like walking around with that coat with all these men that were kind of doofuses, and she's bringing like the energy that they need, like the leadership energy.
Yeah, into the candy store where she rolled
Everywhere.
in the candy. Who are these guys? Don't worry about them. Just bring him.
Where
Is everything wrong? No, it's
Call him.
yes,
Fucking
no.
call
Give me
him.
your phone.
Fucking
Give me your
call
phone. What are you gonna do?
And also when we meet finally his parents, and the main musclehead or fixer is shaking. I mean, he's white.
Yeah.
And shaking, terrified. And the mum comes down, and she is Daria Ekamasova. She's in the Americans, but it's very clear that she is also the kind of brawn and brains of the family, whereas the father maybe is also a bit of an idiot. And I think, at some point he was also an idiot like his son. And some woman who was like, come on, let's go, you're a man. But like could have been like Anora. Maybe she wasn't a stripper, but maybe it wasn't so dissimilar. But I had a little sense that maybe it all is a bit too close to home for the parents. And even the muscle guy, the bald guy, who obviously
Igor,
is the breakout star here, Yuri Borisov, who's so good just at doing nothing. But we only see him do his job for 10 seconds. And he's so scary. He was so menacing. He did nothing. He just said, oh, you're a tough guy?
Like, I didn't think he would be, when they needed a tough guy, I assumed he would just do something dumb or not say anything. But yeah, he just turned on a dime.
Turned on it, smashed it up. And then he saw the other jar of candy and just went,
oh, yes.
He's terrifying.
Yeah, perfect.
He could have killed her so quickly. This conversation where she's like, you assaulted me, and he's like, you were never in any danger, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I was stopping you.
I'll stop you from hurting yourself because you're crazy too.
Because you're crazy too. Amazing. The look into the club.
Oh, behind
and there was a
scenes,
point where they're about to open every door in the club to find him.
Yes, yeah, straight away.
Here we go.
Straight
They
away.
open door after door, and you just see these glimpses of God knows they're all breaking the rules. I loved all the stripping. I loved every second of it. I loved all this sex, and was he 21? He might have been 17.
I was waiting for them to say, by the way, he's 17.
By the way, he's a child. Do you know why there's trains there? Because he's a fucking child. And I want them to be like, your marriage is illegal because he's 15.
Yeah.
That's in my mind what was happening, because the whole time they were having sex, he was like, oh. She's like, listen, if we slow it down.
Come on, that's not just 15-year-olds. 27-year-old men can do that as well. Thank you.
It's anything under 29, if you're lucky. Still might.
Still might. No one gave him the feedback. How are they going to know?
She gives him feedback.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love you. And she's like... I think that there was something between them the whole time. Something interesting about no one really caring about her.
Yeah.
And her being so tough. But he, I think, had a degree of care for her.
Oh, yeah.
But I think in her head, she could only translate that in one way.
Yeah.
Because of her experience in the world.
Yeah.
What it is between them, I think, is the thing which is a little bit unclear, because her assumption is, basically in her black and white head, there's a man, if there's something there, it's because he wants to fuck me. If not, he's gay. End of story. Like, there is no other relationship I could have with a man.
Well, that's the reason he's nice to her.
What?
In her mind.
She can't even imagine, actually,
Just being nice to her because he's nice to people.
He's concerned.
Yeah, he's a concerned citizen.
He sees her as incredibly vulnerable, a bit stupid, and he wants her to get out of this in one piece.
Yeah. Because she doesn't even fathom how big it is.
She's got no idea. He knows.
He knows. Let's be honest here. Like, the bar is pretty fucking low for men. Like, I remember talking about in my 30s, I'd be like, I'm competing against men who don't shower. Like, oh God, you're so lovely. So refreshing. So I'm like, what do you mean? I was just kind.
And clean.
Oh yeah, and clean. Clean, mostly.
I could be cleaner.
Yeah, of course. You could always be cleaner. Like,
all I want for my son is to grow up and not smell. Like,
kind to women. Second, not to...
Kind in general to everyone. Kind to everyone.
Kind to everyone, yeah.
And also not to have baby toothpaste anymore, because he's still on the baby toothpaste. And I think, are you going to be the guy, the first time you live with a woman and you're still on the baby toothpaste, she'll go to all her...
Have you been to a man's house, a grown adult man's house, and he's had baby toothpaste?
It's definitely happened.
See?
Oh, a mouse! Oh my gosh!
It's fine. It's a mouse.
Okay.
It's a little...
This happens somewhere, baby toothpaste.
Many of us are probably still having children's breakfast cereal for breakfast.
You know, this one time, this guy had a stroke, and they couldn't tell when he had the stroke. And he was like 33. And they saw a breakfast bowl on the table, and they were like, well, if there's a breakfast bowl on the table, then that must mean he got up, had breakfast, then keeled over. Yeah.
That could have been yesterday's breakfast bowl. You could have had cereal for dinner. Yeah. I hate it how people call breakfast cereal. It's cereal. You can eat it any time of the fucking day. Let's not fucking meal shame this man. He could have had it for dinner.
I had cereal for dinner last night.
I rest my case. No further questions, Your Honour.
Also, they were all Jewish. Did you pick up on that?
Sorry. I was... No, Country Victoria.
They were just letting us know.
Yeah.
Why they need to let us know? I don't know. Why you have to do it? Why
I wouldn't
do we
have
need
known.
to know that? I don't know.
Story critical?
It is not story critical.
Because those strippers were story critical.
The strippers were story critical.
Underwear. Story critical.
It
no
was
way you could have told
great.
the story without it.
I honestly don't think that you should have had to tell the story without it.
Yeah.
Like, everyone now gets to see a movie that's highbrow and Oscars because they're like, have you seen Anora? It's very impressive. But actually, a good 12% of it is probably things that people would never get to see unless they went to a strip club.
Now I know what a more expensive one is like.
That's it. Thanks, Harry. Thanks for joining me. Catch you later in another 6 months when I can be bothered doing another one. All right, bye.
Ciao.